function. Okay, so what basically the use of it is let's assume that there is a magnetic field, students. There is a magnetic field which is coming out of the board. What is happening? It is coming out of the board. And at this point of time, if I say that the velocity vector, okay, it is the same case as we did yesterday. What I'm saying is the last case was basically when velocity vector is perpendicular to magnetic field and magnetic field is perpendicular to electric field. So if this is the case, students, let's also assume that since the magnetic field is coming towards you, I will take the electric field to be in the upward direction. No problem. They are perpendicular to each other. Fine. And now what I do is basically I take a charge. Okay, I take a charge here, Q, and I flick it with some velocity V. I flick it with some velocity V. Let me make that properly. So in that case, students, in that case, what happens is basically, what happens here is basically the charge having a velocity vector V is perpendicular with the electric field and is perpendicular with the magnetic field. And students, in this case, can you tell me if I am considering this to be an electron, a positive charge, Q greater than 0, Q is greater than 0, students, then in this case, what will be, where will be the force on this charge? Will it be upwards? Will it be downwards? What will it be? Can you tell me? Apply your right hand rule. Take your right hand, put it across the velocity vector, curl it towards the magnetic field. So curl it like that. So where is the velocity? Where is the force applied? Force is applied downwards. Because of which field I'm talking about? Because of magnetic field. Magnetic field. So it is going downwards because of magnetic field, and I will write here FB. What I will write? FB, or which is proportional to V cross B. Which is proportional to V cross B. Okay. But students, what will be the effect of it due to electric field? Can you tell me?
Sir, it
Electric
will go
field?
upwards.
Yes. For those who don't,
Direction.
so listen. For those who don't know, listen to me. Electric field, okay. Electric field will apply a force in what direction? Electric field, students, is not just at this point. It is on this entire board. It's going upwards. On this entire board, it is going upwards. So at that point of time, the electric field will produce a force. Okay, what will it produce? Which force it will produce? Q times E. Yes or no? Q times E. This is the electrostatic force. And so if my force is upwards and the velocity of the charge is in the x-axis direction, students, then the path due to electric field will be like this. Will be like this. So then, students, at what point the question comes? This is electric field, force due to electric field. On what? On the charge. So students, the question here, my question is basically at what point will the charge, go exactly undeflected? At what point will the charge go exactly undeflected? Basically not affected by magnetic field and not affected by electric field. So how can we say at what point? How do we decide that? So basically, just assume if Q is greater than 0, students. Okay, I'll just rub this off. Listen to me. I'll slide this over here a little bit. So if I'm saying if Q is greater than 0, okay, Q is greater than 0, and let's assume the first force. Let's assume electric field with we will assume that the force of the electric field, the force applied on this charge, that is Fe due to electric field, Fe, okay, is greater than the force applied by the magnetic field. So assuming, let's assume, students, that the force applied by the electric field E is greater than magnetic field. And if this is the case, students, then what is electric field denoted as? It's denoted as Q times E. What is magnetic field defined as? Q into V cross B. But students, V cross B is what over here? V cross B is what over here? It is 90 degrees. There's a 90-degree angle. Theta is equal to 90 here. Can you imagine that? Velocity is this side. Magnetic field is coming towards you. There's a 90-degree relationship between the magnetic field and the velocity vector. So if sine 90, what is the value? 1. So your answer is going to Q, B, B. In this case, students, Q and Q get cancelled off, and then we come to get a relation that electric field here, E, electric field intensity E, is greater than velocity vector times the magnetic field. This is our relationship here. This is our relationship here. But I can say, I can rearrange the term and I can say that velocity is basically less than E by B. Can I say this, students? I just rearranged it. Can I say this? So this is our first expression. This expression is telling you that the velocity is smaller than the ratio of electric field and magnetic field. And what have we assumed here, students? Look here, that Q is greater than 0 and the force of electric force, electrostatic force, okay, force due to electric field is greater than the magnetic force. So when this is the case, students, when this is the case, when my electric field is greater than the magnetic field, my velocity will be less than the ratio of electric field upon magnetic field. So if this is the case, students, can you tell me what will happen if I take the opposite case, that is force of magnetic field greater than the electric field? Can you get that idea? Can you tell me what that will be? It will be opposite of that. Yes or no? Won't it be opposite of that?
So we will be greater than T by
Yeah. Yes, yes. So here I'm saying that the magnetic field FB is going to be greater than the electric field FE. Okay. In that case, apply the formula. Here I'll write it. QVB is greater than QE. Same thing. Q and Q get cancelled. E here. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. We'll get. In this case, we will get velocity vector is greater than the ratio E by B. So students, what I'm trying to tell you right now is that I have got two relations here. I've got two relations here. What is my first relation? That velocity vector for electric field for FE greater than FB, students, for FE greater than FB, velocity is less than the ratio E by B. And for this condition, electric field smaller than magnetic field, I've got this condition. Two conditions, students, two conditions. And both the conditions are when Q is greater than 0. Q is greater than 0. But students, can I say that there can be a point when the magnetic force and the electric force need not have a small to great ratio. Maybe they are equal. So at that point of time, students, what can we say? Can I just say that the force of the electric field FB is equal to the electric force? Can I say that force of the electric field FB at some point can be equal to the force due to electrostatic force? And I can also say that they are equal in direction. They are equal in direction and they are opposite in they are equal in magnitude. Sorry, they are equal in magnitude and opposite in direction. You can see the directions are opposite. So I can say that FB is basically anti-parallel to electric field. Okay, force of the electric field. So if this is understood, students, then what will be my velocity vector here? Won't it be equal to E by B? Won't it be equal to E by B? Yes or no? So I got this relationship, students, that when there is a greater than less ratio between the forces, we get two different relationships. Okay. But when I say that both the forces are equal, we get this relationship that the velocity is equal to E times B. Students, this very thing is called velocity selector. This very thing is called a velocity selector. What this expression is telling you is that when my force, okay, when my force FB is equal to electric force and they are opposite in direction, students, at that point of time, the velocity will be equal to E by B. And in that case, students, my velocity of the charge basically will have a path which is going straight forward. It will have a path which will go straight forward. Why it will go straight forward? Because both the forces are equal in direction, equal in magnitude, opposite in direction, thus causing an equality, in this expression, telling you that at this point, at this speed, students, at this velocity of the charge, at this velocity, the charge will be undeflected through the magnetic field and through the electric field. Nothing will happen to it. There won't be any deflection. But students, if there is a relationship of less than greater than, that means either the force, electric force, is greater than the magnetic force, or either the magnetic force is greater than the electric force, students, in that case there will be certainly a deflection in the path. There will be certainly a deflection in the path. Has everyone understood this, students? Okay, this, what is this basically? This is called velocity selector. We can basically find out which particles go undeflected through a cross field. That is, electric field is on topwards, magnetic field is outside the plane, and when you pass a charge through it, okay, we can select which velocity, velocity selector. It's called velocity selector. Basically categorizing the particles. You're categorizing the particles based on the velocity. If you put a plate over here, if you put a plate here, all you will get is charged particles which are having more, which are affected more by the magnetic field. If you put a plate over here, you will get all the charged particles which are basically affected by electric field. You put a plate over here, you will get the particles which are not affected by both the fields, that is electric field and magnetic field. This is called a old velocity selector. Okay, this was used by J.J. Thomson, okay, a professor, a scientist, who used this to find the E by M ratio. Okay, this is just a small thing that you need to know. Okay, all that you have to basically get an idea is the greater than less than relationship of the magnetic field and electric field. And whenever we have equal and opposite forces, okay, in opposite directions, at that point, at this velocity, students, at this velocity, the charge will go undeflected. That's all I had to say about this. Has everyone understood? Can I rub this? Can I go to the next concept?
Yes, sir.
Okay, students, now the next concept according to your syllabus would have been cyclotron, but but we are going to skip that.
Little bit because the entire board is not visible.
Yeah. I get it. Yes, I understand. No problem. Now is it okay? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Don't worry, I won't go below this. If I go, I'll tilt my camera. So I'm skipping cyclotron. But anyways, it has a very simple theoretical concept. You can read about it. Let's go to some questions, students. Let's go to some conceptual questions. Conceptual. Okay. Let's say that there is a charged particle. Charged particle is there. It enters a uniform magnetic field. Till that, no problem. It is entering into a uniform magnetic field with a velocity vector at an angle of 45 degrees. So there is a charge. It's going in a magnetic field. It has some velocity vector, and it is making an angle 45 degrees with the velocity vector is making an angle of 45 degrees with the magnetic field. Okay, in that case, students, the pitch of the helical path followed by the particle is P. The pitch is given by P. Okay, find the radius of the helix in terms of the pitch. Find the radius of the helix in terms of the pitch. In terms of pitch. So I'll tell you what this exactly means. Students, this is important. Whatever questions I'm doing here is basically a concept in itself. Listen to me. Okay. So what is this saying is basically there is first of all a magnetic field. Let's say the magnetic field is in x-axis direction. Okay, and then he's telling that there is a velocity vector v having a theta angle with the, he's telling there's a velocity vector v having some theta angle with the magnetic field. In that case, students, immediately you should know that there will be what? Two components of the velocity vector. One will be what? One will be parallel to the magnetic field. Okay, yes or no? One will be parallel to the magnetic field, other one will be perpendicular to the magnetic field. the perpendicular velocity vector v perpendicular here, and this is v parallel. Okay, the perpendicular will cause what? It will cause a circle. It will cause the entire charge to go in a circle. Of course, before you make the circle, first see in which which direction the circle is going. Okay, so v cross b, you can see the force is inside, students. So force is inside, students, so we'll have a velocity vector in towards inside, going inside. The helix will be going inside, not outside like this. Okay, so at that point we know it is going to be a circle here, but v parallel will cause this circle to move forward. So that way it will create a helix. It will create a helix. This is what we are going to get, students. This is the first thing you should know. Draw the diagram first. Okay, once we know this, very easy to solve it. What is asking you? He's asking you radius in terms of pitch. For that, what we have to do? Find out pitch. Pitch he gave in terms of what? P. So he's trying to tell us to find that also out. So let's find out, students. This is what? Pitch. I don't remember the formula of pitch. Say I don't remember. So what I know? Distance is equal to speed is equal to distance and upon time. So find out what distance is, students. Distance, we can find out like that also, that speed is equal to distance upon time. Distance is equal to speed into time, students. Speed here, which is causing the pitch, is what? V parallel, not V perpendicular, students. That is where we make mistakes. So, and distance can be written as what? Distance is basically pitch. So you can write pitch is equal to the speed here V parallel into the time period t. Now, of course, you should remember time period. Time period is given by 2 pi upon omega. This should be in your head. And omega is V by R. So you can directly remember this also, 2 pi R by V. Okay. If you know this, students, just substitute the value over here. You will get the formula for pitch. Nothing so difficult. You will get the formula for pitch. So ultimately, you are going to get 2 pi R by V. But students, the radius of a radius, I told you, when a charge is a uniform magnetic field, that point of time, the radius caused R can be defined as how we will find out. Now I don't even remember the formula for R. How do I find out, students? I know that. Okay, I can say that. Okay, it is. I will tell you these tricks later, but since time is not there, we will just go fast. R is equal to. Everyone remembers what is R equal to? MV upon QB.
QB.
R is equal to MV upon QB, students. Try to derive this formula. It was very easy derivation I given. Substitute that value, and then you will get pitch to be in the form of what? P is equal to, students, you will get 2 pi m upon BQ into V parallel. So you know the formula for pitch now. Pitch, you know the formula for pitch. How to derive it, you know, in case you forget it. But
sir, there was one more V.
Where is that?
Sir, that time period we had 2 pi R by V.
Yeah, that gets cancelled when you put R, when you put the value of R. When you put the value of R, it gets cancelled. Doesn't matter. See, look here now. I know the file. Now let's say that the pitch is basically equal to what now? Pitch is equal to 2 pi m upon BQ into which velocity? V parallel. This is the same velocity parallel. Okay. So now, students, can you tell me what V parallel is here? What is V parallel, students? Theta was given to us what? 45 degrees, yes or no? So if I want to find out this velocity vector component, is V parallel V cos 45? Yes or no? V cos 45,
Yes.
Velocity vector was given like
Yes,
this,
sir.
having an angle theta with the magnetic field. We are interested in V parallel. V parallel V cos 45. What is V cos 45? What is V cos 45? V by root 2?
1 by root
So I
2.
know. Yeah,
V
V
by
by
root 2.
V by root 2. Yes, right. 1 by root. So V by root 2 I got. Apply that formula there. Apply the formula there. What will you get? P is equal to what? P is equal to 2 pi m upon BQ into V by root 2. This becomes root here. This goes from here. Is this understood? Okay. So I can say, students, I can say here the value of what will be the value of MB over here. What will be? Can I write this same thing? Can I rearrange this thing as mv equals to what? Mv equals to p bq upon root 2 pi. mb is equal to p bq upon root 2 pi. And I know the formula for radius. I know the formula for radius. R is equal to what, students? R, we have to find out radius. M, V, but which V, students? Radius is formed because of which V, velocity? Which component of velocity? Parallel or perpendicular?
Perpendicular.
Yes, yes, that's
Perpendicular.
important. Yes, students, that is important. That's important. MV upon BQ. So, okay, once we know this, students, just substitute the value no, of MV. Just substitute the value of MV. Now it doesn't matter. You know why? Because find out what is perpendicular of velocity vector here. What is the perpendicular velocity? MV
V by
sin
root
theta.
2.
MV sin 45 upon BQ, students. So someone said V by root 2. Yes, right. Sin 45 angle is V by root 2. So I can write it as MV upon root 2 BQ. But now, students, you got the relation of MV here in terms of pitch. Okay. And this velocity vector, now you will say it was parallel. No, boss, I have already converted it. It is now velocity only, MV. Okay. So you can put this in terms of MV here. This was R, no, students? Okay. So put the value. What will you get, students? What will you get? Substitute the value, students. Substitute the value. What will you get? Substitute the value of MV over here. What will you get? PBQ upon root 2 into root 2 will become 2. BQ, and there's a pi also. So you can see BQ gets cancelled, BQ gets cancelled here. So what is radius, students, in terms of pitch? What is radius in terms of pitch?
P by 2
R is
pi.
P by 2 pi. R equals to P by 2 pi. Has everyone understood this? All of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very easy. What I did is, I know theta is 45. I know the formula for pitch. I told you how to think in terms of finding out if you forget the formula. Otherwise, directly you have to put P is equal to 2 pi m BQ into V parallel. Once you know that, you know what is V parallel. You have to find out the velocity component. That is V parallel. V cos 45. You came to know V by root 2 is the answer. You cancelled it here. You got M. Then I found out MV in terms of the pitch. Now I found out the radius. That is R is equal to MV perpendicular upon BQ. Okay. V perpendicular is V sin 45. Sin 45 1 by root 2. Simply substitute the value of MV in terms of pitch because I wanted the radius in terms of pitch. And this is simple, the simple analogy that I've used. That's it. We got R is equal to P by 2 pi. Okay. Next, students, next. Do we have time? 6 minutes, students, 6 minutes. So let's do another easy one. So this P by 2 pi, if you derive it, sometimes some questions can come directly to find out the pitch, radius in terms of the pitch. They'll give you P is equal to something, something. That point of time, you should be able to find out the radius. But for that, you should know this derivation. And for that, you have to practice. Okay. Now let's talk about another question. This question says, there's a uniform magnetic field, students, and the magnetic field B is given in terms of B naught K cap. It's given in terms of B naught K cap. It exists in space. Okay. A particle of mass M and charge Q, particle of mass M and charge Q is projected towards the negative x-axis. Negative x-axis with the speed V. It is projected towards the negative x-axis. Okay. And it is projected with a speed of V. Okay. V, velocity V. From a point of D, 0, 0. These are the coordinates from where it has been projected. So we have to find out the maximum value of V. What is the V? What is V max going to be, such that the particle does not hit the YZ plane, such that it does not hit the YZ plane. You all can't see, no? Just 1 minute. Okay. So, simple question. See, can you tell me at least the approach? First, should I draw the diagram? Yes or no? So he's telling me that there is. Okay, even the diagram is given, students. Listen to me. They're saying that there is a magnetic field which is, say, in the direction of which direction? Z axis. So I will say direction is in Z axis. I will write that B not K cap. Then next thing is telling me that there is a charge with a mass m and charge q, and it is projected towards the negative axis z with a velocity v, but it is projected from which coordinate? D 0, 0. That is all we needed to know. D 0, 0. So where is D 0, 0? Is it in the negative axis x axis or positive x axis, students? It is in the positive x axis. D 0, 0. The charge has been thrown with some velocity v, and it is not given that the velocity is at an angle theta. Okay, so we'll take the velocity to be along the x axis only. So in that case, he's telling the velocity is somewhere here. Velocity is like this. But if you can see here, students, that the magnetic field is coming outwards. Magnetic field is coming outwards. At that point of time, what will be the force on this charge q? Fast, quick.
In the y-axis.
On the, you're telling me in the y-axis. So let's apply v cross b. It is going to be v. Okay, v. Put your fingers in terms of v here and curl it towards the magnetic field. That way you will get the force to be upwards. So you can imagine the deflection will be somewhat like this. The question is that at what point of the velocity v max, at which maximum value of velocity will it not hit? It should not touch this plane. So what can be my approach? It should not at all touch the plane. It should go from here. When will that happen, students?
R should be smaller than D.
R should be smaller than D. Okay. Anyone else? Anyone else? So students, I'll complete this question. Listen to me. Again, you can take this curve here as a curvature, as a circular curvature, radius curvature. At that point of time, if you think about a circular radius here, and I say that this radius here is equal to this radius, what will happen? What will happen? At that point of time, it won't touch the YZ plane. It will not touch the YZ plane. Okay, if you don't want it to touch the YZ plane, you can imagine to be this a quarter of a circle like this. Yes or no? So I can say that if my radius R, how much time? R is equal to mv upon bq, students, mv upon bq, and my velocity v here, just find out the velocity v. How I'll find out? Rearrange this term. It will be bq r upon mv. bq r upon mv. But students, if the radius r, okay, if the radius is smaller than d, if r is smaller than d, then the velocity will be smaller than bq r upon mv or m, where r is equal to d. Yes or no? Yes or no? Okay,
Yes,
I'll
sir.
do one thing.
Yes, sir.
I think many have not understood. I will do one thing. I'll explain this again at the next lecture. The time seems to be up. So I'll see you in the next lecture, students. Hope you've understood the previous concepts. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.